Bullet Club.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time with us. This is Leanne Presents. I'm Leanne, your host for this video, and I'm joined by Alan, my co-host of a host, one of those things. A special welcome to our new subscribers who have joined us this week. It's great to have you with us. Hope you enjoy. Just like this video if you liked it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. It's all good stuff.
And tell your friends all about us.
Tell your friends. As you've seen from the title card, we are here with our reactions to WWE's latest premium live event, Fastlane, which aired Saturday the 7th of October. Forgetting where we are. So yeah, we're here with our reactions because we've just finished watching it. If you haven't seen our predictions for Fastlane, we'd recommend you go check those out because we'll be referencing them a lot in this video. And as you probably guessed, this is going to be spoiler heavy for the premium live event. So if you're planning to watch it, we'd recommend you go watch it first if you haven't already. All right, Fastlane. We had an introduction from Pat McAfee. This is his hometown, I think. It's either his hometown or the place that he played football for or something, maybe.
I don't care enough to really be invested in Pat McAfee, so...
Pat McAfee! And we go straight into...
First thing I always think of when someone says Pat McAfee is antivirus. Antivirus software, McAfee.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those days? That was the other one. Norton, I think, was the other one.
I think so.
I'm dating myself now.
A little bit.
I don't know if they're
It's all
still relevant. I don't know if they still exist. I have no idea.
good. It's something, but I don't know.
And then along came AVG, the free antivirus software.
Yeah. Interesting. Little sidebar about antivirus software. First match of the card. For the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, we have main event Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes versus Damien Priest and Finn Balor of Judgment Day.
For?
I said it already.
Oh, did you? Sorry, I was writing something down. Shush now.
For the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, if anyone else missed it.
I gotta keep her on her feet, right?
I'm going to keep you on your feet by the sounds of it.
No. I'm too old for that.
This was an alright match.
Yeah.
Interesting choice to start the show with. It's alright.
I thought they would have gone for the six-man tag.
Yeah, I would have. Something that's like lower stakes to get the crowd invested before you get to the higher stakes matches, but that's the choice they went with. Cody gets a big pop as usual, although this crowd is one of those crowds that doesn't know the words to his song.
Yeah.
Apart from whoa, whoa.
Something Cody Rhodes.
Something Cody Rhodes. Some highlights. I don't know if I want to say highlights. Bits that stood out for me in this match. Cody Rhodes getting riled up and causing a distraction, which actually meant that the other team could cheat. He had no reason to be trying to get involved, but was sort of getting the ref's attention and then causing his own team to suffer. So, well done, Cody. Nice one. And the commentary team was saying, oh, well, he gets so emotional.
Hashtag Cody's in Judgment Day.
Maybe. Hitting for the other team. Rhea Ripley gets involved, hitting Jey Uso with the briefcase.
Yeah.
But Jey can still kick out because who cares about headshots with briefcases? And then we have JD McDonough trying to interfere. He tries to hit Cody with the briefcase but misses because Cody moves, and instead he hits Damien Priest pretty hard in his bad knee, which turns the tables. So McDonough is in Cody's team?
Yeah, I guess.
I suppose. We got some exchange programs going on. Yeah, I mean, it was an alright match. I have trouble with the team up of Jey and Cody Rhodes. It doesn't feel like a team.
But Leanne, Jay's on Raw to do something different.
No, he's not.
So what do? They put him in a tag team.
Yes, they do.
Because that's different.
With Cody, though, so that's different.
But no, it's Jay that's doing something different. So it doesn't matter who the tag team partner is. Him being in a tag team is clearly different.
Well, it's different in that he's not doing something where he has a really good dynamic with his tag team partner. So it is different. He's basically solo.
Do you know what's not different?
What?
Michael Cole getting the history of things outside of WWE wrong
Yes,
again.
he did.
Claims that Cody was the leader of Bullet Club because he was facing the original leader of Bullet Club, Finn Balor. But that's incorrect. Cody Rhodes was never a leader of Bullet Club.
He was in it.
Finn Balor, AJ Styles, Kenny Omega, Switchblade Jay White, David Finlay. Those are the leaders of Bullet Club from the start to today.
Yeah. Getting it wrong. So coming
Hashtag check your facts, Michael Cole.
A little bit.
But he's the best in the business. He's only missed 2 days. Yeah.
Maybe he needs a holiday.
Exactly.
You got anything else before we come to the finish?
No.
Okay, so following the interference by JD McDonough, there's a bit of a back and forth, and then Jay has Balor to allow Cody to hit the Cody cutter on him. So they sort of label it as a double team Cody cutter.
I think he kind of lifts him up. He kind of elevates him up.
So it does sort of have a bit of an impact, I suppose.
It's like a 1D or a 1 cutter or 1 Cody or something. Or a Cody D. I don't know.
It's just me, Oos.
Just me, Oos, and my best buddy Cody Rhodes. Oos.
Cody hits a second Cody cutter on Finn Balor and then pins him to win. So we have new tag team champions.
Awful.
The sort of team of main event Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, which is interesting. So now they've very much locked Jay into the tag team scene again.
But he's doing something different
But
being a
also
tag champ.
locking Cody Rhodes into the tag team picture. I don't quite get what they think they're doing with him, to be honest. So he's meant to be like the individual, the showcase, the
Main event.
The main event. Both of them, really. And now they're stuck together in a bit of a mismatch.
The only way... Well, it doesn't even actually work that way because of... So, I've surmised that Team Jimmy will go to Team J in War Games and Survivor Series.
Yeah.
But having the belts on them doesn't affect that at all.
No.
Because it's Raw versus SmackDown at Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And they've got both belts, unless they're going to split them at Survivor Series.
I doubt that.
Mm.
But the problem is that you got Judgment Day, who are effectively taking that top heel faction spot from Bloodline, because the Bloodline is now fizzling, and there's more pop in a bowl of Rice Krispies than there is in the Bloodline right now.
Mm-hmm.
Judgment Day was running hard with it, and now you just literally stripped away the tag titles from Judgment Day for nothing.
And we very recently had the weird sort of meeting between Rhea Ripley and
Jay.
No.
Jimmy.
No. Paul Heyman.
Oh, Heyman.
Where they sort of decided that they were going to work together, but there was no sign of...
Yeah. Authorized.
There was no sign of the... Oh my gosh, my brain. Bloodline. Helping at all. No interference, no sign of a team up, and also maybe it'll come later, no kind of repercussions for the loss of the belts. So I don't know if it's just completely unrelated to anything.
When we were watching this, my thing was, why doesn't Dom Rhea just jump in the ring and cause a disqualification?
Yeah, they could have saved
there was probably the same amount of people outside the ring than there was actually legally in the match.
Yes.
So why didn't someone just jump in and smack someone and cause a disqualification?
So while the pin was happening, you did see Rhea and Dom sort of diving in, but clearly way too late. They had a lot of opportunity to break it up before then. Yeah. I also felt it was quite a slow-paced match, to the point where you could very much tell that they were sort of waiting for their opponent to strike. They were like in position, ready for the move to happen to them. And it was a little bit obvious. So I think we need a bit more. It doesn't have to be all high-flying, fast-paced stuff. It does not at all. But there needs to be that balance between, if you're going slow, your reactions have to match that
Yeah.
pace.
Yeah.
So that you're only ready for the move when you need to be, or you're sort of filling time while you're waiting, rather than just waiting.
Yeah, and we'll get into that a little bit later in another match where it happened in as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a theme. But there we go.
We predicted Judgment Day to retain, so we got that one incorrect.
Yes, unfortunately.
I'm really annoyed that they've done this.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Judgment Day were on such a roll.
Mm-hmm.
In a bit of a swerve.
Oh no. Oh, really? This early?
This early.
Okay.
It's time for the best segment of the show, and by that I mean the only segment of the show. The signs of the PLE, the signs of the PLE, Flair. Yeah, the signs were pretty rubbish this time around. There's an awful lot of just like A3 sheets of paper with seemingly biro marks that you couldn't make out. So I think they were handing them out the door. So I actually couldn't make out many signs at all. I'd written down the signs that I'm going to say now, just as if nothing else comes up, we can mention them. And nothing else came up the whole time. There was one sign that said hula on it. I don't know, but...
Did we even get a insert name here, eats corn the long way?
No.
Signs? Oh my god.
I didn't see a single one.
What is going on?
It's crazy.
The world's coming to an end.
So it's a bit different.
It's Armageddon. Ragnarok is here.
It's a bit of a different signs of the PLE. The winner is a collective.
Do I need to get a bit of paper write crappy on it and put
Maybe
Leanne's crappy signs of the pay-per-view?
These would have been an honorary mention, but instead they're the main event, and it's Cody Corner. So we had a little group of people with a lot of Cody related signs. There was we drove 7 hours to see Cody. Impressive. Necessary? Maybe not. It's the first match. You can go home now.
You're in the front section of the building. That probably cost you a few grand. All you have to do is get seats a little further back and fly out, and it would have probably taken you an hour.
Yeah. We had a Nightmare Family sign. We had a Cody for Champ sign, so they're happy.
Yeah. Cody is a champ. A champ.
And
he's finished his story. He's got a belt.
He's got a belt. The end. And we had 2 We Heart Cody signs. So Cody Corner, congratulations. You were the only signs I could see. So you get the...
Well, we could see other signs, but we couldn't read what they said because...
They just look like white sheets of paper,
yeah,
essentially. So, what... The signs of the PLE? The signs of the PLE? Blair. Mid. Get better. Things were getting better with signs, and then...
Mid.
But yeah, that's out of the way. So now we come to a filler central, although this isn't the most filler of the
It's just
night.
the filler corner.
Filler corner.
We got the Cody corner, now it's the filler corner.
Filler corner. Merch ad. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty sponsor spot.
Well, that's
We
fair
give them a
enough,
pass
because
as
it's
a sponsor.
yeah.
An ad promoting the next episode of NXT because they got a load of big names there to compete.
Yeah, so I covered this on the last episode. So we already know Paul Heyman, John Cena, and Cody Rhodes. If you watched only the predictions, you already know they're heading to NXT.
Yeah.
Apparently Asuka is going to NXT now to face Roxanne Perez.
Yep, she is.
Don't quite understand that. And then they kind of end out the NXT teaser with a I don't even know what to call it. Like, is it a church bell? Is it?
Yeah, it's like a church bell.
And it's like, okay, great. So
funeral toll.
So hang on now, right, okay. Triple H, secondary promotion AEW. Okay, so it's on the same night as NXT. NXT pretty much failed every single week when it was on a Wednesday against Dynamite, apart from 2. Now Dynamite has to move to a Tuesday, and you get your panties in a bunch and decide to throw all your big stars at it, including The Undertaker.
Yeah.
But Leanne, AEW's a secondary promotion.
Yeah, it's not a competition.
That Vince McMahon doesn't see as competition. So why are they throwing Cena, Cody, Asuka, Heyman, Undertaker at NXT?
Advertising it on a premium live event.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And
spoiler, twice.
Twice, yeah. So how many of those people have been to NXT before? Can you tell me that?
I have no idea.
One.
One.
Asuka.
Yes, because she was in NXT.
Yeah. Undertaker's never been there. Cody Rhodes never been there. Paul Heyman never been there. John Cena never been there. Why now? Because they're afraid of competition.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty
why.
much. And then the last of this filler spot, a very weird segment with Wade Barrett, Booker T, and Xavier Woods.
I've forgotten about that.
That eventually turned out to be a Pizza Hut ad.
I love that Booker T walks in and he's got his tie undone just on his neck. He's like, oh, That was a long day at the office. He's been sat at the pre-show desk talking for the last hour, if that. We don't watch the pre-show anymore on WWE because it's just nothing.
There's no matches, yeah.
But it's like, you've just been sat there going, I think this person's going to win. I think that person's going to win. Oh my God, Booker T, sit down, mate. You've overdone yourself, right?
It's exhausting. All right, and then, surprise, surprise, we have a match.
Oh my God. What?
This is the 6-man tag. So we've got the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford with Bobby Lashley versus the LWO, Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio with a
Mystery
partner who is not there.
Yeah, so on SmackDown, I'm going to call them Hurt Business 2.0, that's correct what they are. They kind of took out Del Cruz and, oh God, I can't remember his name, the other one. Yeah, Green Wild. And they were like, oh my God, they can't wrestle, blah, blah, blah. Right, well, it's going to be 3-on-2 handicap match. And then Rey Mysterio back on SmackDown, like everyone else that episode, was like, I'll go make a call. I'll go make a phone call. And so he said that, I was like, right, I already know who this is. I already know who this is because they teased it back in May.
Yeah. So the match starts as 3-on-2, and we were just like, why would they ring the bell before every team member's ready?
Uh-huh.
But there we go. Some bits that stood out for me. There was a pretty cool spot where Lashley catches Rey Mysterio from the 619.
The problem is I've seen that too many times.
I haven't noticed it being caught.
There's been a lot of times where he swings around and they just grab his legs.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool. Apart from, the 619 was going to hit Dawkins, but Dawkins wasn't in position when Rey started going. He'd already moved out the way so Lashley could catch him.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit, oops.
So that's the second match in a row. We've had some really bad timing spots.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see how many this actually goes through. You're not sure.
And then the next bit that stood out was, I've written, eventually, Carlito turns up. It's Carlito!
Oh, surprise, surprise. To no one. I did actually see a Carlito sign.
Yeah, people knew.
Yeah, it's obvious.
It's fine.
Obvious.
He did get a good pop.
Yeah.
And he picked up the pace of the match, which was pretty cool. Run roughshod, and that was kind of it.
He's in there for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was so short. And my question is, why didn't he come out sooner?
Yeah.
When Escobar had been basically taken out of the match loads of minutes before, and Rey Mysterio had been desperately trying to get to the corner for a pin. A tag, sorry. Carlito came out on the second time that Mysterio was desperately trying to get a tag.
Yeah.
What was stopping him from coming out before?
Triple H, Vince McMahon.
Wait. We want to see him
You've got to
suffer.
build him up, pal. Listen to the crowd, pal.
We're trying to get Mysterio to retire. Let him take some more beatings. No, they never want him to retire. It's okay. So the finish, unless you've got anything else in between, Carlito hits a backstabber on Montez Ford, pins him to win.
Friggin' backstabber, seriously.
Yeah. So it wasn't a terrible match, but it did feel like the match was intended to give Carlito an entrance.
Yeah.
That was the whole point of it, was for him to come out and look strong.
The only note I've got is too much focus on the mystery partner.
Yeah, it was very much.
That's all it was.
And he was there for, like you said, like 3 minutes.
And then the match was done.
And that was it.
Yeah.
So you got to see a very fresh wrestler take out 2 wrestlers that have been in practically a full match already. Does it really make him look strong?
No.
He'd just been chilling out back drinking lemonade or whatever.
Eating his apples.
Eating apples, yeah.
He used to do, I don't know if you saw, he used to do a thing where he'd bite into apple and spit in people's face. I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Such a waste of fruit.
Such a waste of a match.
Little bit.
We predicted Hurt Business 2.0 to win.
Yeah.
I did kind of think as soon as I thought after the change on SmackDown, I probably should have changed it, but I just didn't get around to it.
I feel like we weren't very invested.
No.
Enough invested to be like, ooh, but what if? So there we go. All right, bit of filler. Crown Jewel ad, which is going to be November the 4th.
Yep, which is a Saturday still.
Nice.
It seems like they've transitioned all of them to Saturdays.
Thank you. At least they're doing something right. Then we had a DraftKings ad as a sponsor. This is fine. And then we had a recap type thing from the kickoff show basically just showing Jade Cargill arriving.
Yeah.
Which was, okay, she's there. Nice one. And then we move into the next match. For the WWE Women's Championship, a triple threat match between Asuka, Io Sky, and Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
Could have been better too.
The thing that would have made this match better is...
Not having Charlotte Flair in it?
Sort of. If the three wrestlers were even remotely close in stature, there's some moves that just don't work when you've got a very, very tall person against a relatively short person. And they tend to be Charlotte's signature moves. So, oops. Highlights for me. The almost immediate at the start of the match, you had the mist from Asuka to Charlotte.
Which practically missed.
It kind of missed. It went mostly over her head.
Just like everything else in Charlotte Flair's life.
But that did mean Charlotte was out for a little bit while she got sorted out, which her version of trying to get the mist out of her eyes, which wouldn't work. And I was just yelling at the screen, pour water in your eyes. Just pour water on. Who cares about the makeup? You want to get the poison out of your eyes. But no. This works, apparently.
Apparently. I don't know what Bianca Belair, I didn't think of that one.
No. Well, now she might know, I guess, if it ever happens again. There was a good moment where both Io and Asuka had Charlotte in different submission moves at the same time. And everyone was like, but what would happen? Who would win? I suppose you might bring Champion's Advantage back in.
No, you wouldn't. Contest. You wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to ring the bell. You wouldn't be able to.
Let them continue.
Yeah, you'd have to, because if you've got two people with a submission hold on, you can't decide who the winner is.
No.
So you'd be like, no, there's two of you doing it. You need to carry on the match.
Just like break and restart, I guess.
You didn't got to necessarily break it.
Yeah, but part of the reason for breaking a submission hold when someone taps is so that they don't break something or...
It's only Charlotte, don't worry about it.
There we go. There's a moment where Io Sky is out of the ring. She's like practically unconscious, I suppose, is the idea. And Bayley comes out and tries to revive her, which I thought was quite a cool moment. Sort of painting Bayley in a little bit of a face look for me. It's probably just concern for a teammate, but it's a pretty face move. She tries to get Io back in the ring. Io gets knocked back out, and then Bayley carries on, like trying to slap her into consciousness, which is alright. It's pretty good. And then we come to the finish, unless you got anything in between.
Just when Io and Asuka were fighting, I thought it was a good match.
Yeah.
But then when Charlotte gets involved, there's a lot of sloppy stuff going on.
Because too much arms,
yeah,
too much leg.
It's like Asuka and Io were on the outside at one point, and they literally and they were just about starting to get up, and then Charlotte takes at least 30 seconds to get to the top rope for that moonsault. Yeah. And you could tell they were just stood there like waiting for him. They were probably doing the Mortal Kombat finish him thing, where the person's just stood there like this. You know, and I kind of feel that's what Asuka and Io were doing, just stood on the outside just waiting for Charlotte Flair to get her bony ass up to the top rope to flip off it, even though they look like crap anyway.
Yeah.
Like, just stop. Stop.
Too long, in many senses of the word.
And going into the finish, just thank God for Bayley.
Yes. So I have got a bit of that in there. So we had Charlotte had Asuka in the figure eight.
Yeah.
Bayley sort of gets the ref's attention, which means he doesn't see that Asuka is tapping.
I think you missed it first time. I
did, yeah. I didn't notice Asuka tapping, so I was like, well, what's the point of that distraction? But
I was like, Asuka was there. I think I said that Asuka was tapping.
Yes.
And
you're like, there we go. Yes. I mean, the ref being on that side would have been in the wrong position to see it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then when the figure eight goes in, you would have transitioned over to where Asuka was.
He'd have moved. Yeah. Io then hits the over the moonsault onto the pile of Charlotte and Asuka and pins Charlotte to win and retain her championship.
Thank God for
that. I know. There was a moment during this match about halfway through where you had that sudden horrific revelation. Wait, Jade Cargill's in the back.
Yeah. Who's about the same stature as Charlotte?
Yeah, so it was
just a lot more muscular.
Oh no, Charlotte's gonna win, and then it's gonna have an angle with Jade Cargill straight away.
Yeah.
And then it was.
I literally could visualize everything in my head.
Yeah, because it makes a lot of sense from the Vince McMahon point of view, But I'm really glad they didn't. It might be on the cards down the line because it would be a match that makes sense.
See, what they should do is build it up and just maybe have it at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Charlotte versus Jade, first time ever.
That
That works.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're sticking with Jade Cargill, mind.
Yeah. They could have changed it.
I don't know what her actual name is. It might be her actual name, but Vince doesn't usually like to use names from different companies.
That's very true. Maybe she'll change at some point. It might have been in her contract that she wanted to keep it.
Maybe.
Who knows? Yeah. Not a bad match. It's alright. Could have been better.
Had
But
its ups and downs.
two out of the three was...
We predicted that one correct. We thought Io was going to retain, and she did.
going right.
It did get hairy for a bit, though.
Yes, it
I
really
thought
did.
with the first two matches we got wrong, if this one was going wrong, I was like, oh god, we've got a full, massive, clean slate of fail.
Oh, imagine.
You know?
Alright, it's filler time. I'm not quite sure what happened with this. There was a bit where we were told that we would be hearing from the new tag team champs later.
It's at the press conference. Yeah, it's at the press conference.
Cool. I missed that bit. This is fine.
With the absolutely awful belts photoshopped on very quickly.
Yeah.
Looked awful.
They could have, if they knew what the outcome was going to be, right?
Like, you had the belt kind of, like, instead of being there, it was kind of, and you could see all the edges, and it's like, oh my god, that's awful.
They knew what they were going to do. Yeah. Why didn't they just borrow the belts, take some pictures?
At this point, you've probably had them for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Doesn't take long to go to the back, take a photo.
Yeah. A choice was made. LA Knight arrives in a sports car.
Yeah, Slim Jim sports car, which was granted to him by winning the Slim Jim Battle Royale at SummerSlam. Okay. Like, what, 2 months ago?
Nice.
Took their time on that one, didn't they?
Yeah, a little bit. They did the usual shout out to the theme music. I can't remember who it was.
Something crap.
And then we have a grand entrance from Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee. I have no idea anymore.
Let's call him Big Mouth.
Big Mouth. So he comes out and gets the crowd all excited by hinting at WrestleMania in Indianapolis, which I take quite personally.
London called it first.
Because John Cena, he teased that London might get it. And part of me is like, either they are teasing WrestleMania in multiple places to try and get more traction and then try and set people against each other, build it up, or Pat McAfee wasn't like told we might be doing it, but he was just sort of, this will get the crowd excited, and just went for it. Which, if that is the case, that's a really bad move.
You would get chewed out for that, but I don't think I reckon it's planned.
Probably. And maybe they'll do London 2025, Indianapolis the next year, or vice versa. I don't know. But yeah, it's a bit like,
I think
you can't promise them. You promised us first.
Seeing all the traction that AEW got with All In, they'd be stupid not to hold WrestleMania in London.
Definitely. But after teasing WrestleMania in Indianapolis, Pat McAfee introduces John Cena, which takes us into the next match. We have John Cena and LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. And Pat McAfee goes to the announce desk.
Yeah.
Yay.
Listen to his stupid ass for half hour now. Fantastic.
I quite enjoyed this match. It was quite fun. Weirdly, the bit that delighted me the most is John Cena's facial expressions. He's like a kid, and it does... I know maybe wrestling-wise overrated, but the character and the emotion and just the facial expressions all the way through.
He's absolutely not the greatest of all time.
No, but his surprised look when someone kicks out of a pin. He's like...
That's something
so
that's
over
really,
the top.
That's something that's really bugging me as well, this greatest of all time thing all the time.
Yeah.
That's really starting to bug me now. There's at least 3 of them in WWE on this event alone.
Yeah, and one had it on his wrestling gear.
Well, he's got greatest luchador of all time. That's for the little...
Okay.
I think that's what that symbolises, the greatest mask of all time.
Right.
But it's still, there's that. They call Charlotte the greatest of all time. They call Roman Reigns one of the greatest of all time. It's like,
yeah.
no.
So wait, Rey Mysterio is the gloat.
The gloat.
that tracks.
Either the gloat or the gamote. Greatest mask, right? Gamote.
At least gloat is a real word.
It's true.
Solo Sikoa and John Cena being in the ring, that was pretty good. Solo stopping Cena in his tracks just constantly and then just punching him in the face pretty much. A good moment. Interesting pacing in this match. Whenever John Cena was in the match, we were talking about how Cena's not a fast-paced guy. So it's quite slow and methodical. I don't think this match was as bad for the waiting for moves as previous ones. No. So they sort of went with the pace. And with Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, you expect them to be fairly ring intelligent. But then as soon as LA Knight gets in, it's just quick, just non-stop, back and forth. And he's not a small guy. So he's got some stamina and agility is pretty out there.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. It also picks up the crowd energy as soon as LA Knight gets in there, of course. They're very big on LA Knight, probably more than John Cena at the moment, which is really good to see that they're actually rooting for the current rather than the legacy. Good stuff. Anything else before we get to the...
I didn't quite understand why Heyman was going like, when Bloodline were winning.
Yeah, it was sort of... I think he sort of fixed it.
And I say winning, I say winning as in beating down Cena.
Yes.
Because Cena spent probably 80% of the time in the match. And that whole, holding my arm and trying to tag, they did that way too many times.
Yeah.
That got really old really quick.
I feel like Cena just likes that spot.
Yeah.
So, John Cena hits the 5-knuckle shuffle on Jimmy Uso. I had to think then. I didn't write it down for some reason. But on the way, he knocks Solo Sikoa off the apron and then takes up this really weird fighter stance.
Yeah, it's like a...
just to stop Solo getting back in the ring. So LA Knight hits a blunt force trauma, a BFT, on Jimmy Uso and pins him to win.
That's not going to make Roman happy, is it?
No.
Returning on SmackDown?
On the way back up the ramp, you did hear Paul Heyman into the phone saying, "We have a problem," which I quite like.
Well, you saw him doing the commentary on the side, and he was kind of like... It's like, what is he doing? Seriously?
I think he's trying to save it somehow.
Do you think he's going to be doing that on NXT? Braun Breaker's going to be winning. He's going to be like, call Roman Reigns.
Maybe.
We predicted Cena and LA Knight to win, and we got that one right.
Whee!
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we kept to our biggest filler spot of the night.
Here we go.
Which I might have to make
Strap
a sign
in.
for.
It's Fastlane.
All right. DraftKings ad. The same one we had before. An ad for the NFL Legacy Belt Collection.
Which McAfee was wearing one of those.
He was wearing one of those, yes. We go to the back where the Judgment Day are there, and we have... oh, my brain is not working today. Damien Priest is saying he doesn't want to walk away empty-handed, so he's going to cash in his Money in the Bank tonight, and he's being talked out of it. Eventually, Rhea says, "Give me the briefcase."
But Leanne, there is no
Sit
leaders
down.
in Judgment Day.
Oh, Rhea Ripley's the leader all the way.
Abso-friggin-litely she is.
Absolutely no question about it.
So give me the briefcase.
Then we have a promo for Indianapolis Sports Ball, by which I mean various different sports. I don't know. There's basketball and football and stuff.
I'm guessing that's where the event was.
I think, yeah. And they show Declan McMahon in the crowd, who is in one of these football teams, I think.
It's Shane McMahon's kid.
McMahon's son.
I'm surprised they did that, because Shane didn't really leave on good terms. But then, didn't he come back from Mania? Yes, he did. He blew his knee, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
So he's got one of these legacy belts as well, and the plate's spinning. And
I don't know if that was one of the legacy
Was it
belts,
not?
man. I think that was a custom.
Oh, maybe.
None of the legacy ones, as far as I've seen, have the spinning plate. They're all the same design, just with the different colours and whatnot.
Yeah, it looked
and
terrible.
the logos, but yeah, it looked awful. It was based on Cena's old school championship, and it's awful.
Terrible.
I hate the spinning belt.
Then we had a preview of the matches coming up on Raw Monday night for some reason.
They're probably worried about Dynamite.
Probably. We had the Brawling Brutes advertising the Mattel wrecking truck. So it's a WWE truck where you can take it apart and use it in matches with your Mattel figures, I guess. It was based on a monster truck that Sheamus entered in, but didn't then have anything to do with the match. So
I can't remember
it's a
what
bit
event
weird.
it was.
I cannot remember. Then we've got an ad for Crown Jewel, the exact same one we had before. I don't know. bit weird.
Yeah.
And then a promo for the press conference that follows the event. That's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 bits of filler.
So again, right, if WWE aren't concerned with AEW, why are they now doing post-event press conferences like AEW have been doing since day one? Because
they work and they give a good platform for advancing storyline.
But secondary promotion.
A little bit. But you know what?
It's time for the main event.
This is for the World Heavyweight Championship, and it's a last man standing match. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Good match. It's what you kind of expect, I think, with a last man standing.
I said it wasn't awful,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't quite feel as impactful as it should have been.
No, it could definitely have been a whole lot more violent.
Yeah. I feel like they didn't really take advantage of the last man standing rules.
Yeah.
It just felt a bit flat.
A little bit. They obviously used a lot of props, as you'd expect. Candlesticks, chairs, a bin, trash can, whatever, a table, and a ladder. And the new addition to the roster of props is nunchucks, which was pretty cool. You got Shinsuke, who got to do some little tricks with it.
Tricks.
You know when they do the spinny thing around the arms, and you're like, how on earth do you do that without hitting yourself in the face? But you can do it, so that's fun. And then he's just like jabbing.
Whenever I see nunchucks, I think of Red Dwarf.
Yeah.
Those who know.
Red Dwarf's good.
You know the one with that.
I think so. It's a lot of Red Dwarf.
There's this particular episode with nunchucks.
I can't remember. I have a terrible memory, you know this. Anyway, we're not talking about Red Dwarf. We're talking
That's
about
a shame.
Fastlane.
That's a shame.
The other thing I feel with this match is the back injury. They did use it, I suppose, in the chair shots to the back, that kind of thing, trying to hit on the bare concrete kind of thing. But that's stuff that you usually get. It's not anything like extra because to take advantage of the injury. That's just stuff you do anyway. So they could have utilised that more, I felt. Also,
I mean, if I'm Nakamura, I'm sticking him in a bow and arrow. I'm putting the chair on his back and putting all my weight down on it.
Yeah, like you use it.
I'm throwing him into the edge of the ring. I'm power bombing him into that hardest part of the ring.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, none of that happened.
Nope. So, what's the point of going after the back injury? I don't know. Seth's outfit just distracted me the whole time. His
Here we go.
leggings had a very intricate pattern, but unfortunately, the pattern included 2 circles, like concentric circles, on the butt cheeks. Bit distracting. It's very, very much butts.
Yeah.
So that was great. We did have Nakamura hitting the red mist into Rollins'
There's
face.
a lot of it as well.
Yeah. I think they learned from Asuka's one.
Oh look,
More
blue
mist.
tint.
Do 2 capsules instead of 1. It'll be fine.
You look like Ric Flair back in the 80s when he was bleeding.
A lot of red. So it was fun.
Hey Seth, you got red on you.
Ah.
How many film references are going to get in this last match, do you think? Or TV references?
We'll see if you get any more. So do you have anything else before we get to the finish?
Nope.
Okay. So they're in the crowd bit.
Yeah.
So on the floor in front of the stands. Nakamura gets driven through a table. Both men are down. So they've had such
a Blue Thunder Bomb, wasn't it?
Blue Thunder Bomb, that's the one.
No, sorry, Falcon Arrow. Sorry, it's Falcon
Ah.
Arrow. It's Falcon Arrow.
Couldn't think of the name.
Yeah.
Ref starts counting. Seth gets up at like 9.5. Nakamura almost gets up, but falls back down and is counted out.
See, I contest that if you have one foot on the floor and you have a slightly more vertical base, you're kind of up. He was on one knee and a foot.
He was nearly all upright and then toppled forwards. Yeah. But it depends how it's like written in the rules, because the way I understood it was they have to be on both feet.
I need to look back at some other matches because I guarantee that this happened before. And they've broken the count with that.
Maybe. So Seth Rollins wins.
And we predicted that one too.
retains. Of course
So,
we did.
do you know what it feels like to me? They're doing a Rollins. He's the new Roman Reigns.
Yeah. At least he's actually defending.
Yeah, for how long with his back injury?
Yeah.
Who's next?
Who's next?
Right?
It's not many other people. You'd take on Jade Cargill. She'd get him. I'd actually want to watch that. That sounds pretty good.
I can't think of who's going to be next on the roster. Is Shinsuke going to be like, oh, I deserve another crack again? Please don't roll this out for a third month in a row.
You got to end it.
Go into Saudi Arabia for the next PLE, I would say Mansoor, but he's obviously been fired.
Yeah.
So does that mean Omos, maybe?
Maybe. I can't think of who else from Saudi Arabia or that area is in the company anymore.
Sammy?
That's still a bit controversial, maybe?
But he was allowed to go there last
He
time.
was allowed to go.
And the crowd loved him.
They did.
So maybe Sammy, but you got face versus face at that point. That doesn't really work.
No.
Not for WWE.
Interesting.
I don't know.
If you've got ideas who should face Seth Rollins at Saudi Arabia, put it in the comments.
So we, out of the 5 matches, we had 3 correct and 2 incorrect.
It's not bad.
I'm still really salty about that tag team match, the first one.
Yeah, a little bit.
Judgment Day should still be the title holders. They've only held the belt for a month. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Okay, what was your least favourite match of the
I
event?
put my least favourite as the 6-man tag.
Yeah. Any particular reason?
Because of the feeling that the whole match was just so that Carlito could get a strong entrance.
That's exactly my thought as well.
That's what I've written it down, so you know I'm not...
Too much focus on mystery partner.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing, because you've got... The Street Profits are great. Bobby Lashley's a specimen. Rey Mysterio, yes, I believe he's overrated, but he can go.
Oh, yeah.
And Santos Escobar is going to be a future world champ.
Yeah, for sure.
They should have just kept Joaquin Wilde in that.
Yeah. Even if Carlito comes in, he makes a difference. He turns the tables, but then the match can continue. Escobar and Mysterio can still get in there and finish it off with a proper match with the six people, like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be... He comes out
You
and just straight away wins.
You could have had like Bobby Lashley on the mic. It's just you two. We're gonna crush you. And Ray's like, actually.
Yeah, just have a 6-man tag. So yeah, that's my least favorite.
Stupid. What was your favorite match?
I've gone for Cena and LA Knight versus Solo and Jimmy.
Okay.
I actually enjoyed it. The dynamic between both pairings I felt was really interesting.
Yeah.
And the different emotions. John Cena's facial expressions definitely give it a boost. But LA Knight as well, just doing his thing.
Yeah.
Solo Sikoa doing his thing.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Uso's alright apart from his music.
Do you think we're going to get to see Cena and Solo one-on-one at Fastlane, Crown Jewel?
Could be.
That could be something.
That would be interesting.
That could be something. And then potentially you'd have LA Knight versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
But you would kill his stuff flow on that, because LA Knight's going to win the title yet.
No. Interesting.
I think for me it's Shinsuke and Rollins, because I really like heel Shinsuke.
Yeah.
He's gone back to his sort of New Japan roots, and I really like that, getting in your head and messing with it kind of roots.
Yeah.
But I absolutely hate the outcome of the match, because Shinsuke, this is really the closest he's been to winning a world title.
Yeah.
He deserves a world title.
He does.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I think that match would have been up there a bit more if they'd used the back injury angle a bit more.
Yeah.
And maybe had a little bit more violence.
Yeah, I agree with that. But obviously, the competition, it would have been Judgment Day and Cody, but the ending of that really annoyed me.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Pretty bad.
Io and Flair and Asuka. And then obviously John Cena, I felt that Cena was in the match too much. Yeah. LA Knight to me in that match was like Carlito.
Yeah,
he's in there for like 3 minutes and they win the match. It's like, what?
A little bit.
So it has to default to Shinsuke and Rollins. And I think I mentioned this either in the predictions or the reactions to the last PLE, whatever that was, I can't pay back. That I wouldn't be surprised if Shinsuke's contract, when it expires, he just goes, right, screw it, let's go back to New Japan.
Could well be, yeah.
At least to be used properly there.
Yeah. He's he's having a carrot dangled at the moment, it feels like, in WWE, and he can never quite get it.
Oh, look. Nope.
Take it away.
Look. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yeah, it's not right.
You know, he won the Rumble the same way Asuka won it, and they both lost their matches at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's a disgrace.
Yeah, that's terrible. You can at least have one.
Yeah.
At least one. There we go.
So what's next, Leanne?
Oh, goodness. What is next? I guess it's Crown Jewel, right?
Yeah. 4 weeks yesterday.
4 weeks. That's not long.
Oh, so I just got to stretch.
Any idea what's going to happen?
No, nothing yet. Well, Roman Reigns is going to be fighting, I'll tell you that much.
Well, yes, he'll be
You know,
there.
for the first time in 3 months, we're actually going to see Roman Reigns in a ring.
Yes.
He's returning on SmackDown, so they're probably going to start the program there.
Start building up a bit.
But then what
We'll
they'll do
see.
is they'll go, you're fighting me at Crown Jewel, and then we won't see Roman Reigns until Crown Jewel.
Probably.
Or the Raw, or the SmackDown before Crown Jewel. It'll be one of those two.
It's like, just come on. Have him at least show up or show his face, even if it's just recorded. He's the champion. He should be there in some capacity. It's just silly.
So we've got 3 wrestling events in November, Leanne.
Ah!
So we've got Crown Jewel, then Full Gear on the 18th for AEW, and then Survivor Series on the 25th, I believe it is.
Wow.
Is it 25th?
Something to look forward to.
That's October, I'm looking at the wrong month.
Yeah, it's not November.
Leanne, stop looking at the calendar. Yeah, so I think it's the 25th, which is Thanksgiving weekend, so it's usually that weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sweet.
cool.
Great.
Anything else?
That's all. I think.
Take us home, Leanne.
Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate all you guys, and we hope you appreciate us also. That sounded weird.
Yeah,
Anyway,
a little bit.
please like this video if you liked it. Hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified when we drop new videos. Talk to us in the comments. Let us know what your favourite match was or your least favourite match. And what do you think is the next match coming up for... Pick someone. LA Knight. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's next? Thirsty.
Oh, I wonder if Brock Lesnar will show up for Crown Jewel.
Oh no. Cowboy Brock? Cowboy Brock's okay.
Rollins and Brock.
Seen it.
Yeah.
Follow us on socials. You'll find our link tree in the description below, which will take you to our Instagram, Facebook, and X, formerly known as Twitter, where we put up our weekly updates for what's coming up in the week, so you'll always be up to date, as well as little snippets of videos when we post them, so you can see what's coming a little bit. Cool. So,
Awesome.
We'll see you at Crown Jewel, where we'll come back with our predictions.
Well, we won't be there.
We won't be there, but
We'll be here.
join
for
us
you.
as well for the content we've got in between. We've got some video game and board game stuff coming up, and so enjoy that.
Probably some unboxings if stuff arrives as well.
So yeah, look forward to it.
Boom.
Until then, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bullet Club.